Well, good morning. So today I went to a follow-up appointment, and but before I went to that appointment, I had to stop by Lowe's and check out what kind of plants they had to offer. And so, of course, you know, right now I noticed that my Lowe's in Madisonville, they're kind of at a pause right now with the plants. I know at Rural King we're done with the plants right now. Probably back till fall time we'll get, you know, some chestnut trees, mulberry trees, things to attract deer. I think some pecan trees we get too, and some sycamore trees. Don't quote me on the sycamore trees though. Anyway, as I'm saying, oh, we'll also get like echinacea in too. Keep your eye out for that. But anyway, when I was saying they're at a pause right now, so nobody's really getting any new inventory and they're just stuck with their plants. So I thought, well, why not take a look at Henderson? I'm not going to stop at Madisonville today because they're paused. They're moving into a different quarter in retail talks. So I went there and I did find some rescue plants. This one we are going to rescue today. The other ones, I don't know yet. We'll see. The Begonia for sure. Now, my black mamba's doing this. Let me go get my black mamba and show you. So my black mamba, this is the black mamba. It's basically doing the same thing that the other begonia was doing. I had it out here on the porch there to the left of the swing, and then down there with the other rhizo begonias, and it just needed less, it just needed more TLC than that. So I brought it inside, put it on the, I mean, it probably would have done okay there, but we've had lots of rain, and I just didn't want any more mist and any of that coming in on this soil. I'm trying to get it to dry out. I'm trying to save its life. So I moved it under the grow light, and it's doing well, doing really well. I'm very careful when I water it now, and I let it dry out nearly bone dry, nearly Hoya dry, nearly cactus and succulent dry. Although I think string of hearts likes more water than other string of succulents. Anyway, I'll put black mamba back and then we'll get on with the show. Most of the problem is they overwater, and then the Costa Farms and even other companies will do this. They'll put self-watering in this stuff and then like really dense soil, and roots don't really care for that, and tropical plants like to dry out at least most of the way before you water them again. They're not like tomatoes and cucumbers where they can take more water. I mean, look at me, I've grown tomatoes inside, and I have overwatered tomatoes inside with my airy pots. The ones with the slits on the side. I had to learn the learning curve of growing tomatoes inside in soil. And I think my problem there was heat. So next year I'm going to put them on a heat mat inside my house, and I think they're gonna do a lot better. But anyway, as I'm blabbing about that, but at least now I have picked like at least 3 black crim tomatoes. So it wasn't worthless to start my tomato seeds that early because I'm still benefiting from it. Now the Brandywines, I have yet to pick on those. Those seem to be a later ripening tomato. Okay, so we got the self-watering wick out, and I've been holding on to these. And when I use like to make self-watering propagation cups and stuff, I'll just slap these back in there. You don't have to have a pick like this. You could just X the wicks through the drainage holes at the bottom. I've seen people do them in like an X at the bottom of the cup. But these are also cool to use. I used to dabble in leca and stuff and for my alocasia, but I can't really keep alocasia well in my house because there's times in my house when it goes about 50 degrees in the wintertime because we have a wood stove, and that's our primary source of heat when it gets super cold out. All right, so we're going to take this out of this pot. I'm going to get my potting mat out. Because Walter's kitty food and stuff and water is under there. Well, not his food, it's just his water. Yeah, this is like very peat and a little bit of perlite. Look at it. The perlite's very small and it's very dense. I think it would be better without self-watering. but I'm gonna try to get it in some drier times here. And I think I might go for a little bit smaller of a pot too while I got it out of the pot. That's just going to help it dry out faster. I mean, obviously I'm bringing back my black mamba in the same pot and in fact in the same soil, but maybe I could just leave it like this, add a little bit of soil at the bottom so I'm not to mess with the roots too much. But we also have to check for root rot. These are very fine roots though. Very fine roots. I'm not seeing any signs of root rot. So that's good. We'll continue to take this soil off because I just think the Fox Farm's going to be better. If I'm, you know, just replace it with something better. Or what I've done before when I've ran out of potting soil is I've taken this crap before, added more perlite and my amendments in it, maybe even some worm castings, and repotted in that, and it's worked out. I mean, it's not what I would prefer to use. Just you can do that. All right, let's go over to the rack of pots. This rack of pots also goes inside too. Like I have 2 spots. Well, 3 if you're counting the back deck. 3 spots for pots. I don't know if I have anything smaller right now that's not terribly small, you know? So I think this... Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. It's better to go too small than too big. And I'll show you something else too. See my little chicken planter here? I saw this when it came in at Rural King and I said, well, I'm just going to have that. But I'm not going to pay what they had it marked for. So I waited for it to go on clearance and I bought one before they were sold out. But I've been having a hard time finding a pot to fit this chicken. And well, this one fits pretty close. Anyway, back to potting her up. I'm going to try to get most of this soil off here as I can, but I'm not, you don't have to be perfect about it. It's not that big of a change, big of a deal, you know. Just get it for the most part. All right. Chuck her in there. I'm filling it with soil. Now I'm going to tap it in. I'm not going to water it in since I'm trying to let it dry out. I'm going to try to let the Happy Frog wick the moisture out of the peat that's already in there. Alrighty, I'm going to slap her in the chicken. And we'll see how she looks. We'll see. I mean, I had to squeeze the pot a little bit, but it fits. So there she's going to sit protected in a heavier planter on my porch in case a chicken comes and jumps up on my railing. Or Walter, he could do that too. But he's been, the chickens, Walter and all that, they've been pretty good so far this year about knocking stuff off. Now the kittens, when they were exploring stuff, yeah, they have, but that's not their favorite thing to do. So that's a good thing. So then I also picked this up and I talked her into it because I'm like, look, these aren't potted in the right soil. They're losing leaves. I already took off some of the yellowing of the leaves. This is the best looking one there, although considering how they're potted, they didn't look that bad. They're very savable. So if you're interested in these Hoyas, both of these varieties are still up there. There's at least 4 or 5 of them. Let me show you the foliage first, huh? And I don't know what Hoya this is. I would like to know what Hoya it is and maybe see how it's supposed to bloom. I think it would be cute trailing. I think it'd be a cute trail. Both of these Hoyas would be cute trailing. Okay. Get her out. Yeah, let's see how much chunky soil I got. Oh, I got some. We're gonna go ahead. This isn't exactly a rescue mission. They both look pretty familiar to me, like I should be able to pick point out what they are. But I can't. So I'm going to have to do some more pruning on this one. It had fallen down leaves down there and down here at the bottom where you could see, well, I don't know if you can see I picked them off or not, but I did. So they were there and now they're not, just so you know. So now we'll just get this out of the pot. And these cash pots are pretty stinking heavy. And I don't know if you'd be able to buy these under $10. So, I mean, I feel like the whole setup here, going to Lowe's and buying the Hoya in wrong soil, is a win. So I'm going to chop it right there. The end of this, oh, this one probably might be choked out because it needs, we'll see. Let's take it out of the pot. This one's really well established around the trellis. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world to take it off. I think it might be starting to get choked out right there or overwatered. There's a part on the trellis right here where I'm tracing this vine back to where the one vine starts to die off. So I'm going to cut it there. Take this dead part of the vine and get it off there. All right. Bye-bye. This one has really close internodal spacing, it looks like. Good gravy. That's going to be a nice full pot. I wouldn't exactly call this root bound. It's happy. I don't think, at first I thought maybe it's dying off because its roots outgrew the pot. No, it's probably being overwatered or something. But this is not root bound. Root bound, you're going to see it underneath here too, sometimes coming out down the pot, up the pot. Look at my tomatoes out there. I got roots coming up the top of the pots. That's why SOS, we didn't get that done. Again, 2 plants. I'm betting you, I didn't unpot my parvofolia, and it came from Live Trends too. I bet you it was 2 plants. Because it's the same hoop trellis and everything else, why wouldn't they put 2 plants in there? Alright, let's see how easily she comes apart. And I gotta go find some more small pots. This is a problem. We might have to, I don't even know if I have anything small enough to burn holes in. These are very nice established root system in here. Definitely bigger root structure than the other one. Still not quite a big enough root structure for that pot, especially if I'm only reducing it down to 1 plant. So I'll be right back. So I have one more of these plastic pots less. I have I think it's a true to, or it's a 1.75 inch pot left. So that's what's going in my Amazon cart for next time I order from Amazon is 2 and 3 inch pot. Well, maybe not 3-inch pot since I got the clear cups. I'll have to take a look, but I definitely need more small stuff. So I got to look at what I got and what I don't got, and I know I don't got 2-inch. How about that? So if any of you do know the identity of any of these plants, please let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Or if you just want to talk, talk to me down in the comments. Like, it's a blank page down there. No one talks. Maybe just no one has anything to say, or they don't know what to say. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to say and I feel really awkward. That's a lot of my social anxiety. Or what do people think? It's like, well, you know, you can't always worry about what other people think. And that's been hard for me quite often. Okay. This one I think is going to be too big for this pot. So we are going to put her in a 3-inch pot. That's the good news. I saved a small pot. This is going to work. I've already got the extra holes burned down there at the bottom to help compensate for it not being terracotta. It's clear. I can watch how much it needs watered, how much it doesn't need watered. I can watch the roots, see how healthy it's doing. Win. Okay, here we go. No, I better leave me some space to backfill. All right, and then after I plop her down in the pot, I kind of just swirl her to get the roots down in there a bit better. I forgot to chop and prop her, but I will. And this video is getting kind of lengthy, so after I pop this one up, you don't need to see me up pop the other one or deal with my cuttings. So oh, I feel like this one needs to be back on her trellis. She's top heavy. Oh, when the trellis fits. Come out and trellis. Well, the trellis kind of makes it top heavy too, but whatever. We will figure something out. But there she is. I think the trellis is getting stopped up on the roots. I think I got too much soil at the bottom too. I need to dump that out. Okay, that looks a lot better. Slap the trellis. Slap the trellis. Tuck that root back in there. Come on. Come on, baby. Get back in there. Good root. Good root. I'm going to top it off with a little more powdery stuff to fill in the gaps of the orchid bark. Voila. Oh, I'll get the... They didn't have it clipped, it was just self-wrapping, and they say you're supposed to wrap your Hoya counterclockwise around the trellis. That's not counterclockwise. Which way is counterclockwise if I'm wrapping? Good question. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I'll figure it out. I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.